All right, greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. How y'all feeling? Started a little bit late, and apologies for that. We'll try to get into it. We're going to stay, I think we're going to keep it weird today. I don't know, I like talking about climate change, and we will talk about climate change, but sometimes I want to talk about other things. And I like talking about weird things, so we're gonna keep it diversified, if you will. But greetings to everybody on Rockfin, on Callin, and on YouTube. It's relatively, it's just not gotten super hot yet today, so that's nice. It's starting to warm up. The sun's coming out, but it's not 100 degrees already today in my studio, so that's kind of cool. There's an address on the screen to donate to the show, to support the show. If you like what I'm doing, think what I'm doing gives you some value, please consider supporting me on whatever platform that you're listening on. There's links on all the platforms for different ways that you can support the show. Alrighty. We will start with some climate change type stuff. Looks like summer will remain in full force out west heading into September. Strong signals that more heat waves will develop. Yikes. Crikeys. I don't like that. I think we're getting in LA, we're getting like maybe a 2-day respite. It's like a couple of degrees cooler for a couple of days, which I am really trying to enjoy, because it's like just beneath, melt your face hot. So it's kind of warm, but it's not melt your face hot, and that gets tiring. Every single day of melt your face hot gets really tiring after a while. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I forgot to play. I had this in my dock a long time ago, as in last week. I think Gabe sent me this. This is an interesting video on where to move if you have where to move because of climate change. So, if you're wondering, they kind of tell you, and they're pretty right on with their estimates of like where to go. Grateful Down says Canada has no guns. Better place for the end times. Yeah, maybe. Let's listen to this.
We hear so many stories about places in crisis from extreme weather, and many of those places are in the news over and over again. So we began to wonder, where will it be safe to live in 10, 30, or even 150 years? We asked 6 scientists this question, and let's just say,
well, there are really no safe places, right?
But as we dug deeper in our conversations about climate migration, each expert helped us understand where and why people will move in the future. And as it turns out, when multiple environmental risks are weighed together, a prediction about the least risky place to live in the United States is actually possible. At the end of our episode, we're going to call the government of the least risky county in the United States and see what they think about this and if they're prepared. So stay with us, and if you like this kind of science-based perspective on extreme weather, climate change, and how to prepare, give us a like, subscribe, and let us know what you think in the comments below. First, let's start by looking at the most basic part of climate change, which we know is that global temperatures are rising. We spoke to two different experts who collaborated on a study exploring what they call the human climate niche. And it turns out that humans prefer to live where the average annual temperature is between 50 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
If you picture a band in North America running from roughly Chicago or Boston in the north on over to Seattle, and then down to, roughly say Atlanta, it takes up most of the mid-continent of North America and almost all the West Coast. And the surprising thing to me as an archaeologist is that humans have had that temperature preference for as far back as we can easily go in the archaeological record. That's to say back to about 5,000-6,000 years ago. People have always been concentrated within that temperature.
The 1 degree of global warming we've experienced hasn't caused mass migration in the U.S. just yet. Phoenix is one of the fastest growing and hottest places in the U.S., but we know the world is getting hotter.
You look at 3 degrees centigrade warmer world, you find that we could have 3 billion people in a 3 degrees C warmer world living at average temperatures above what's experienced by pretty much anyone anywhere on the planet today, bar a few spots in the Sahara. And I don't think that those 3 billion people would necessarily choose to stay in those kind of extraordinary climate conditions if they had the choice to leave. And that then raises the obvious question of, are they going to come and live with us, inverted commas, and are we going to welcome them in?
Ken Caldera put it in even more specific terms when thinking about temperature and where we'll be comfortable in the future.
The temperature bands moving, I think they're moving something like 30 feet a day. So if you wanted to stay in the same temperature, you need to move 30 feet northward a day. 10 years, you on average have to move 20 miles north.
That sounds like a lot, but maybe that's what it is.
But I don't think temperature alone is likely to be the first factor to cause climate migration in the U.S. It seems likely that climate migration will be caused by a mix of factors. Astrid Caldas, with the Union of Concerned Scientists, put it like this.
With climate migration, people leave because they have to leave after a big disaster that there's no turning back. Their house has been destroyed. They don't have insurance. They don't have the resources. They move to be with, relatives or near relatives, or they go to a place where the cost of living is lower, where they can afford it. They just can't stay where the disaster hit, right?
And climate migration is already happening. Wildfires, hurricanes, and rising temperatures are pushing people to move. As temperatures across the Arctic rise, many Alaskan Native communities have been forced to relocate. And after the Camp Fire burned down over 11,000 homes in Paradise, survivors scattered all across California and the U.S.
The actual boundaries of Earth's land are going to be changing. As our seas rise, we're no longer going to have the same land available to us as was before. And as we lose that ice from the Greenland ice sheet, it actually shows up most strongly at places far away from Greenland. People in, for example, the Gulf Coast of the U.S. are feeling the influences of losing ice. This is causing sea level rise, which includes coastal erosion, salt water from the ocean getting into freshwater resources on the coast. We can also experience flooding not just along the coastal edge of the continent, but also further inland because rising ocean waters can change our groundwater.
So clearly the least risky places are not oceanfront. Many of the places most at risk of sea level rise will see more hurricanes, and the South will likely get too hot. We spoke to another expert about an extreme event that causes an increase in climate migration every year: wildfires and the smoke they produce.
In California, a lot of insurance companies are canceling people's homeowners insurance because of the risk of fire. Folks are having to buy a secondary insurance that is cost prohibitive for a number of individuals. It's basically like 5 times the rate of typical homeowners insurance.
So areas with high wildfire risks are out. Actually, John was a part of a study that used 6 risk criteria to rank the climate risk level of every county in the U.S. We discussed a few of these factors already in extreme heat, sea level changes, and wildfire danger. The study also accounted for economic damages from rising energy costs, real estate destruction, plus low work and crop productivity. So what did they find?
The top 30 least risky counties were found in the Northwest, Michigan, Colorado, Virginia, and a high concentration in the Northeast.
And the one they rated as the least risky, Lamoille County in Vermont. We reached out to Lamoille County and asked them how aware they are of their position as a potential climate haven and how prepared they feel for an influx of climate refugees.
Well, we know it's a lovely place already. So the county as a whole, we've got somewhat less than 30,000 people. The commercial center is probably the town of Morrisville, but again, that's less than 10,000 people. We talk about climate migration a great deal in Vermont. There's been a number of media stories about people moving to Vermont to escape extreme weather on the coast or western wildfires. One of our board members right here moved here from Brooklyn after her apartment flooded after Sandy.
Our apartment flooded, so that was a wake-up call, I think, and we literally ran for the hills. We packed up our life and we moved to Vermont. I'm very aware of the privilege that I had in being able to move up here. And when I do think of myself as a climate migrant, I say that very lightly because I was not fleeing famine. I was not fleeing war. I didn't have to walk with just my clothes on my back and my family across an international border. I didn't have to live in a detention camp. I got in my Toyota and I drove up here. And I do think Vermont's is making efforts to be a hospitable place to resettling refugees.
We have a lot of work to do to be ready. We have a housing shortage in Vermont, and some of our smaller towns and villages don't have the water or wastewater capacity to really develop a lot of housing. So we're spending a lot of time looking at how we will manage with a lot more people coming here because we do anticipate that.
But as we look towards our future, how do we prepare ourselves to be as resilient as possible in the face of a changing climate?
So there are many different challenges that we face as the climate changes, and the best way for us both to adjust to the changes that we know are going to come, but also take the strong action needed in order to reduce the pace of change. Those are all elements that require us to work together and communicate with each other and really build collaborative spaces from the local level all the way up to the international level. So I really encourage people to think not just about...
Okay, the last part is just some blah blah that we don't have to listen to. Everybody's got to do their best to work together, not only locally, but I don't know. They just, right. There's a point in a lot of climate articles and or coverage where it just gets to be like, wah, wah, wow, no, wow, wow, no, wow. Okay. Hold on. All right. Let's keep it going. Anyways, hope you guys found that interesting. And mostly what people are saying about where to go, where to move, that's about what it is. Finger Lakes, lots of, we know lots of folks in the Finger Lakes area, northeast, Michigan, some parts of the Midwest. They also said some parts of Colorado they included in there. Notice they didn't say Pacific Northwest. So that used to be a popular idea. Well, I'm going to go to Seattle and I'll be just fine. Maybe not. Or Oregon. Maybe not. Taiwan, for the third day in a row, plus a record set in July, Taiwan marked a national record with the temperature jumping to 41.6 C at Fuyuan. If the value is confirmed, it would be the highest temperature in Taiwanese history. Yeah. or as far as historical records go, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. Climate is always changing there. Maybe that's not what it is. Let's keep going. We were warned that mega droughts would cause rivers to run dry by mid-century. Well, it's happening right now. From 66 disappeared rivers in China to Germany and the U.S. Midwest. Don't forget the Southwest there. I think the Southwest is experiencing some river loss as well. I don't know where this is. China, I guess. Maybe this is the Yangtze. Not sure what river this is, but well, underneath the caption says as many as 66 rivers across the region of Chongqing in southwest China have dried up. State broadcaster CCTV said Friday. Dried up. Dried up, as in dried up. Okay, that's happening. Let's see. Since the poles are melting due to climate crisis, there is less pressure on the top and the bottom of the planet, which moves the crust up and makes the Earth rounder. So this is Poppy Davis retweeting Paul Beckwith. Earth broke the record for the shortest day since atomic clocks were invented. That's something. So again, well, there have been short days in the past, I guess. I read through this already. During the age of the dinosaurs, there were short days. The day was short. Days were shorter. But it seems like since 1820, scientists documented Earth's rotation slowing down. According to NASA, in the past few years, it began speeding up. Why is the speed increasing? Researchers do not have a definitive answer on how or why Earth is turning slightly faster, but it may be due to glacial isostatic adjustment or the movement of land due to melting glaciers, McCarthy said. Earth is slightly wider than it is tall, which makes it an oblate spheroid, he said. Glaciers at the poles weigh down on Earth's crust at the north and south poles, McCarthy said. Oh, climate change is causing the Earth to rotate faster. That's stupid, huh? Right. Climate change is causing animals to attack humans. Dumb. All right, mouth breather. Anyways, it's the same phenomena that figure skaters use to increase and decrease their speed, he said. Anyways, the circular shape helps the planet spin faster. That's why. There you go. In a nutshell. This is me in a nutshell. Anyways, let's go on to this. This is an interesting, this is a thing, I don't know, this is a funny tweet, but also a scary tweet. We've covered this plenty of times. The tires on fire in Kuwait and other places, but this is in Kuwait, where, all the billions and billions and billions and millions and billions of tires are sent. It's like the largest tire graveyard on the planet, and it's on fire, like all the time. Yeah, it's just on fire all the time. So they try to control the fires. They try to put out the fires, but they seem to keep igniting. Anyways, interesting caption here. The fact that the WEF has successfully convinced countless industrialized nations to destroy the farming industry over cow flatulence. That's another, cows farting is causing climate change. That's very, that's for the Beavis and Buttheads out there. Yeah, well, cow flatulence is methane, which actually causes heating. So that actually would be a cause of climate change. One of the causes of climate change, as well as the pee and the poop causing nitrogen emissions and other things, right? So they actually do hurt the climate. So, the idea of like, oh, it's just it's cows farting, ha ha, that's so stupid. Well, it is one thing, but it's true. While remaining completely silent on how Kuwait deals with millions of used tires tells you all you need to know about where we're heading. I mean, it kind of does, because this is just an out of control, obviously, climate disaster, the burning of tires. And how do we, there are a million ways in which we're destroying the planet, right? And it's unfortunate because there are a million ways in which we're destroying the planet, and the tackling of any one of those things is going to be like, oh, well, that's dumb. They're going to say that you're going to give up all your cars. That's stupid. What about the burning tires? Or what about the, I don't know, maybe you should give up your cars and we won't have so many burning tires. What about the rich people in the jets? Blah, 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 right? Approaching or, acknowledging or investigating or trying to deal with like one particular thing, dealing with climate change is always going to be stupid to the mouth breathers, right? Because they're going, oh, what about that? It's just, but whatever. All of these things are bad, right? The cow flatulence and the burning of tires is all bad. It's all bad. All of it is bad. But humans aren't destroying the planet. They're trying to make you, I don't know. What is this called? What does this look like? It's not, they're trying to say it's your fault. I don't know. What does this look like? What does this look like? This looks like humans destroying the planet. I don't know. No way, man. Let's keep going. Very quickly, something Fantoma sent me, a bunch of miners in Mexico. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but this is a really sad story because some miners were trapped in a coal mine in Mexico, and they're most likely dead. And I think it was because of a flood that happened in Mexico. There was a coal mine, and there are 10 workers trapped in the floodwaters, and they've been down there for like 2 weeks. And basically, to sum up, the likelihood that they're still alive is not. And there are people that are upset with the AMLO administration from how they're responding to it. They're responding to it way too slow. But it's very sad. What's sad too is that people have to work in these coal mines in Mexico, and they get paid like $200 a week. Is it any wonder that people want to come to the States and get paid, way more than that, for probably equally or maybe less shitty work, right? But you probably wouldn't be making $200 a week. You'd probably be making much, much more, right? If you can make 3 times or 4 times that money just, coming over the border and getting a job, then why wouldn't you do that? All right, this is something else that Fantoma sent to me, and I didn't have a chance. So it's a long video. It's like 9 minutes long, but it is super hilarious. And this is Tim Dillon explaining pretty much where we're at in civilization, and kind of the inspiration for the title of the video, today's video. And hopefully this will play with sound. Will it? Will it not? We'll see. Hold on. Hold, please. One more time. Thought I kind of had the trick here, but I guess I don't. Hold on. At the very least, I can get this to play on Chrome. It's so funny because all these things play for me when I'm not doing my show. And as soon as I do my show, they won't play. I think I've said that about 300 times. One more time. Nope. Yes. Nope. Anybody? Hello? Oh, you know what's weird? This is interesting. Well, that's actually good news. I forgot to turn off my oh well, I won't. I guess I won't say anything about it. Sometimes when something goes right, the best thing to do is just not say anything. One more time. Nope. Nope. Shoot. I think we're going to have to go. All right, hold on, guys. I'm going to have to put this in another browser to see if it'll work. I apologize for the... apologize for the delay. It's worth waiting for, though, I promise. All right, we have sound. Great. That was just that easy. Hold on. We're going to get there. We really do. We really will. Here we go. Here. And here. And there we go. All right. This is Tim Dillon being very funny. Wait, wrong one.
Experience. What we have to realize is that we're Americans. You know, we're deeply selfish monsters that have been bred to destroy all life on Earth. We have to not lose sight of that message. We're here to fuck things up for everyone else, not each other. And that's what we had in the 80s and the 90s. We had a commitment to apathy while our leaders ran around pillaging the earth. And we made great movies and great art, and it was fine. Yes, people got killed, but people always get killed. But now we're at war with each other. We should just be enjoying the spoils of the end of the empire. Truly. We should be enjoying it. So many people got killed, murdered, tortured, and maimed for us to have all the nice things we have. Do you know how insane it is to not enjoy it? You know how crazy it is to not enjoy a McMansion, a flat screen TV, a McFlurry? You know how much blood is in the street for those things? And people act like they don't even matter. And they're fighting about all this bullshit. It's crazy. Anyway, that's the truth. That's the real truth. Nobody wants to hear it, but that is the truth. We have a lot of these things are nice, but some of them are ill-gotten gains. Fine. You know, not everybody picking tomatoes is happy about it. But have you ever had a good, like a nice Jersey thick beefsteak tomato? It's good. Imagine having one and then fighting with someone about something. It's stupid. If there's a hell world going, and if there's not, we get reincarnated when we're Beatles or something. But just enjoy it, and nobody wants to enjoy it. And that's what makes me upset, is that we used to have a country built on enjoyment, built on fat, stupid people enjoying the work of a small group of demons, and now we can't even enjoy them. Can't even have fun.
Okay. All right. I thought that was hilarious. He goes on. I mean, the rest of the video is great. If you can find that video, and you probably can somewhere, just look up Tim Dillon on Twitter. You know, I don't actually, you know, I don't know if I necessarily subscribe to just do whatever you want and, you know, just be as stupid and greedy and lame as possible in the end times. He's being funny, by the way. I think he's being sarcastic. But yeah, I don't, you know, but without maybe being a complete terror on the planet, you know, with constraint, I think, you know, one should actually enjoy normalcy. because there's some normal ass things that I enjoy, and I'm really trying to enjoy them before, because there's going to be plenty of time for people to go, oh God, this sucks. When things, if and when things get out of control, there's going to be plenty of time to go, oh damn, this really sucks. So, do enjoy some normal things if you can, or, normal for our paradigm. All right. But that was pretty great. I found that very amusing. Here, this is a really interesting video. This is a very interesting video. Now, maybe we'll do the rest of the show on Rockfin. So, YouTubers, it's been fun. Please come hang out on Rockfin. And we'll do the rest of the show there or on Callin. Callin app is open. Some people hanging out here. Yeah, and I'll see you all tomorrow at the regular time of noon. All right, peace.